Hello, and welcome to the Orchid Live app. I'm going to talk you through the different sections of the app which should give you enough information to be able to use this moving forward. If you have your handset in front of you and would like to work through the training whilst using the app, please feel free to pause at any time. So if you're ready, let's begin. You will need to log into the app using your username and password. Your username and password will be the same details you use to log on to the Orchid website. If you don't have this information, you will need to give us a call at head office to obtain them. Now that you have logged into the app, you will be taken to the home page. There are 5 sections to the home page: download calls, active calls, upload, history, and help. If there is a specific section you would like help with, you can skip to that section by going to the times being displayed on screen now. If this is applicable to you, you might want to press the pause button to note the times. The first section I'm going to take you through is the download call section, which can be found in the top left hand corner. If your download calls icon is blue, this means that you have calls allocated to you ready for download to your device. If you're expecting calls to have been allocated to you, but your download calls button is greyed out, this means that you currently have no data connection. So when you are ready, please click on the download calls icon. The section you are looking at now displays the activities where you have calls to complete, so please click on the activity you are currently working on. You will now be able to see the calls that are allocated to you for that particular activity. Simply select the call you wish to download and hit the download button to download the call to your device. A message will appear informing you that the call is being saved to your active calls. The icon will change from download to start. You can start your questionnaire from here, but as best practice, please do this from the active call section, which I will talk about later on. It's probably worth noting at this stage that as best practice, we would advise that you download all calls you are planning to complete at the beginning of the day. To do this, you will need to go through the download calls process for each call until you have downloaded all the calls you have planned to complete. Now that you've downloaded all of your calls, you can click on the home icon to return you to the home page. The next section that we're going to work through is the active calls section. Now that you have downloaded your calls, you can select your calls from the active calls. It's worth noting at this point that active calls works offline. This means that if you lose data connection throughout the day, you can still complete your calls within the active calls, as these have already been downloaded. So when you're ready, click on the active calls now. You will now be presented with a section that looks very similar to the download call screen. This will display all calls that you have previously downloaded but not yet completed. In the top right hand corner of each call, you will notice a button called Info. If you click on the Info button, this will display specific information relating to that call. To close the info page down, simply click on the small X in the top right hand corner. When you are ready, click Start on the call that you want to complete. You will now have gained access to your questionnaire. You can navigate your way through the questionnaire using the buttons at the bottom of the screen. Next will take you to the next question, Back will take you back to the previous question, and Skip will allow you to skip the question to come back to it later. It's worth noting at this point that you will only be able to use the skip function if an answer is not mandatory or it doesn't rely on an answer to route you to the next question. Let me take you through a couple of question examples. For an open question, such as please record your mileage, click in the answer section to activate the keypad, type in your answer, and then click on the keypad button in the bottom left hand corner to remove the keypad. You will also have questions that require a response from a list. Simply select the correct response and press next to go to the next question. It's also worth noting that there is the ability for us to include photo questions. When prompted to take a photo, simply click on the camera icon to activate your camera, take the photo, which is then automatically saved to the call. As with any other question, all you do to move on to the next question is press next. Once you've navigated your way through the questionnaire, you will notice that the next button has now changed to Finish. You will need to press this button to complete your questionnaire, so when you're ready, click on Finish. Once you've clicked on the Finish button, a new message box will appear that states, "Calls cannot be updated once finished. Are you sure you would like to finish this call?" If you are happy to proceed, then click on Yes. You will notice now that the Start button has changed to Upload. You can upload your calls from this section, but as best practice, please do this from the Upload Call section, which you can get to from the home page. So when you're ready, click on the home icon. We are now going to go through the process of uploading calls. You will notice on the Orchid Live homepage that the Upload button is now blue. This means that you have calls ready for upload. Please note at this point, if your Download Calls button and your Upload button are both greyed out, this means you currently have no data connection. You can refer to our data connection troubleshooting page on the Orchid website. So when you are ready, please click on the blue Upload button in the centre of the home page. Now that you've entered the upload screen, it will display the calls that are ready for upload. It's worth pointing out at this stage the traffic light system at the top of the screen. Green means that you have a Wi-Fi connection, which is the strongest signal, most predominantly found at home and some stores. Amber means that you have a 3G connection, which is a medium strength signal and will be the most common connection whilst you're out and about. Red means that you have a GPRS connection, and this is the lowest data connection signal. If you are trying to upload a large number of calls, or calls that contain a large number of images, you will find that the upload will take longer on GPRS in comparison to 3G and Wi-Fi. You will need to make sure the calls you want to upload have a tick against them. If you have more than one call to upload, please make sure that you have a tick in the Select All section. Now that you have a tick against the calls you want to upload, press the Upload Data button when you're ready. You will be presented with a Please Wait message. The speed at which the app uploads data will predominantly depend on the connection you have and the number of calls and images you are transferring. Once completed, you will see a pop-up message stating that all calls have been successfully uploaded. At this stage, you can either press the OK button or the History button. I will talk about the History button later, so at this stage, please press the OK button to return you to the upload screen. Once you have done that, the calls will have disappeared and you can click on Home to return you to the home page. We're now going to go through the History section, so when you're ready, click on the History button. You will see that the history contains the call that we've just uploaded. The sole purpose of the History section is to display previous calls that have been uploaded. This will allow you at a glance to see the calls that you've completed. So that concludes the History section. You can now click on the Home button to return you to the home page. The final section I'd like to talk to you about is the Help section. This section will contain troubleshooting information relating to the Orchid Live app. So if you have any problems with the app, please refer to the Help section first, as this may contain the answer you're looking for. So that concludes the training of the Orchid Live app. We hope that you'll agree that this will significantly speed up the reporting part of your role, and on behalf of all of us at Orchid Head Office, we'd like to thank you for taking the time out to watch this video and choosing to use the Orchid Live app. Enjoy!